Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly and I am really glad you guys are here. I am sharing with you 3 palettes today, and 2 of them are not new. One of them is brand new. I've already done a video on it, kind of a first impressions of it. I fixed my chair here. And I realized I had never filmed with the original 2. So the original 2 are the, where's my boxes? Set in Stone and Twist of Slate are the original 2 in this collection that Colourpop did. Some of, I know Colourpop has had a lot, right? So it's not going to be the most recent collection. And then they added Clay It Cool on top of it. So let me show you what these palettes look like. This is the Clay It Cool. I'm going to finish up with this today. This will be my 3rd and final look using this palette. Probably not unlike the first one that I did with you guys. This one is Set in Stone, which is a neutral brown palette. Everyday, everywhere girl palette. And then this one is Twist of Slate, which is going to be more of your cool toned, maybe a little bit more smoky, but again, it could be everyday, every girl, depending on if you like to go more neutral, more warm, or more cool toned. So my thought for today's video was I'm going to do a look with one of the palettes. I'll switch over and do a look with the other palette. So we'll do Twist of Slate and Set in Stone today, one on each eye, and then I'm going to take it off and we'll do a final look with Clay It Cool. That way you guys can determine whether or not one of these brown, everyday, wearable palettes is going to work for you the best. When I picked up these palettes, I originally had picked up, I think I picked up this around the same time. This is the Miramar Beach Bronzer. I figured might as well just kind of use a bunch of Colourpop products. So I'm just gonna grab Miramar Beach and we'll use that on top of my base layers right now. I do already have, I use the e.l.f. Halo Glow as well as a primer, as well as the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I haven't been using that for a long time, and I've just been craving lightweight, no heavy makeup because it's been so hot this summer already. So hot in so many parts of the country. I am going to go out to dinner with my husband. It's actually, when I'm filming this is actually a Sunday. I've been traveling a lot for work, and I have actually a fun trip coming up too, but I'm home. I try to be home 2 weeks out of the month. That's how busy my schedule is. Kind of all over the place here. So that's the Miramar Beach Bronzer. It's maybe a little yellow, but it's it's perfectly fine. It works for my skin tone. I'm usually typically a light medium. I think it works out well. I also picked up with one of these Flirt Alert powder blushes. This is not my first time using this. I've actually used this before, but since I'm going, you know, kind of neutral and cool toned, I figured this would be a good blush to use. So I'm just taking this on my same bronzer brush that I was just using. So it kind of merges the 2 colors together. And it is a subtle pink mauve-y blush, not too pink, maybe a little on the dusty rose side if that's kind of what you like to do. Nudie pink, feels like everybody likes nudie pink blushes, right? Maybe you don't. Maybe you prefer something else. I like to abuse blush. It's hard to do it with these 2 products because I feel like they're both a little on the more subtle side, and that's a good way for me to kind of tone down my overabuse of blush, is using ones that, you know, are maybe a little softer. Doesn't hurt my feelings. Okay, so let's take Twist of Slate, which is the cool tone one. Let me grab a selection of brushes here. I'm going to start with this taupey nude right here. I'm going to use this on my wedding ring side, will be my cool tone look. I did not put on any eyelid primer, and I did have some pink on earlier, and I feel like it's stained just a little bit, but we'll see how good Colourpop is at covering up that shade. Wow, that's actually a really pretty slate color, isn't it? That was called Take a Chance. Okay, I should scoot you in here. Hold on. My apologies. If you guys are not new here, then you'll know that I am not a professional YouTuber, not a professional makeup artist. Sometimes don't even know what I'm doing. I'm going to take a different one of the shimmers in here. This one's called Fortunate One. This one right here in the center. These 3 are all similar but slightly different undertones. So, oh wow, that's gorgeous. Super pretty shade. Okay, now I just want to put it all over my lid. Wow. Gosh, I forget how much I love Colourpop eyeshadows. So that's actually pretty soft and pretty. I could see doing something just like that for work with some mascara and call it kind of a day. Let's see if we can't darken this up a little bit. Maybe I want to go from, you know, work to evening here. So there are 3 darker mattes in here. I'm gonna go with the one that's kind of, I think they do a good job of pairing them up, right? Like I think that's a pair, that's a pair, that's a pair, that's a pair. Oh, I forgot to tell you, each one of these has a cream base in here. I did not use it on this one. I probably should have. So I used this shimmer, so I'm gonna use the corresponding matte to it. This one's called Cool Down, and I'm just gonna use it on the outer corner here. See if I can't deepen this up a little bit. I think the last time I used this palette, or the last time when I used the Clay It Cool palette, I did use that cream in here and really like the way it worked. Okay, I don't wear as many grays as I think I should. When I put on gray eyeshadow, I'm like, oh, why don't I do this more? I'm gonna go into the lightest shade in here. That's a matte. It's called Ill Fated, and I'm just gonna kind of clean up here just a little bit. Buff this down here too. Gray eyeshadows. I forget about gray eyeshadow. And then I think it's super easy to take, you know, one of these darker shades and really smoke it out and go rich and deep and dark on it. I have a little liner type brush here. I'm gonna take the darkest shade in the palette. This one is called Sleek Over, and I'm gonna line it. Okay, there's my cool toned eye look. I need mascara on it. Let's switch over to Set in Stone and see what we can do for more of a neutral look, because I think this is more of your neutral palette. When I first got this, I thought this was the warm palette, but next to Clay It Cool, this is not a warm palette. I think I am going to use the cream in here. I didn't use it on the first look. I will probably use it on the last one. And if you are a cream eyeshadow wearer, this is a super emollient feeling shadow. And I normally would not feel comfortable just wearing just one single shade like this as a cream. But all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I hate that. So Chilled, which is right here. This is too big of a brush. I apologize, you guys. This is way too big of a brush. So I'm gonna start on the outer corner and just kind of work it into my crease here. Hopefully it'll buff out a little bit. Pretty sure that was a clean brush. Could it get more basic brown than that? Like, I feel like this is the basic brown eyeshadow and everybody needs one. You can't always do bright, beautiful colors, right? Sometimes you have to do simple and understated. I would have taken the corresponding gold, but these two golds are very similar. I'm gonna skip down to this. I'm gonna use this one on the end. This one's like a taupe undertone. So that one was called So Chilled. This one's called Dimensional. I am crazy over these shimmers. They're so soft, and that goes over that cream shadow so well. This is just a clean brush. Wow, that's the cream and 2 shadows. That's it. I'm gonna go into the darkest one in here called Steady. I'm just gonna kind of pinch my brush a little, and I'll just kind of tap it in here to kind of, I love a smoky look, right? It's not new to anybody. It's actually pretty. I'm gonna go back into Caramel, which is this. Is that what it is? Yeah, Caramel. No, Gravel. That's not really the color of any gravel I've seen. It's more of a tan color. We'll take a little bit of gravel up here. Keep working it down here to buff out some of that. All right, let me do a little cleanup, put on some mascara, and I'll be right back. I'm back. I feel like I need just a little tiny bit of one of these lighter shimmers in here. So I'm going to take this gold right here, a little of that right here. I could get away with doing the matte vanilla in here as well, because I think that really would brighten up and be really pretty. But I think I want to take a little bit more of, I'm going to take this copper color right here on the edge of that brush as well. And we'll just scribble it down here. That's going to lighten up, bring a little bit more light to that lash line and kind of soften up a little bit. Wow. Okay, so Set in Stone on this eye. This is your neutral palette. Twist of Slate on this side. This is going to be your cool toned neutral palette. I say neutral, I should say basic. I don't know. They don't really feel very basic. They feel very luxurious, very high end, very pretty. So I do want to come back in and do Clay It Cool as well. While I was shopping, I did pick up a couple more of these Super Shock. I picked up one in It's My Party, which is kind of a gold shimmer. I picked up another one. This looks like a little bit more of a slate colored shadow, and this one is in Adaptogen. That's super pretty. And then the last one I picked up was more of kind of a green color, and this is in Moonwalk. All of these shades look like they're really perfect for an all over the lid, a little bit of matte, maybe even your bronzer from your cheek thing over the top. Super Shocks are great for that type of look. Okay, and then with the original Stone collection, they had 4 liquid lips. These are, what are these called? Fresh Kip lip creams. I think I've already swatched all of them. They're all very much dark. This is the darkest one. And I'm just putting a little bit on the outside corners. I know that looks insane right now. I don't even know. This is not a look I would recommend for anybody. I'm gonna take the lightest shade in it. So that one was, which one was that? I can't read these ones because they're white lettering on a gray background. Just know that it was the darkest one. This one's the lightest one in the kit. Right here in the middle. And then hold on, I'm not done yet. These are the two mid-tone ones. I'm just grabbing one of them. And after smashing my lips together, I get something that looks a little bit more like that. Kind of a fun way to use the super dark lipsticks that you might not normally wear is to kind of use them just as a little bit of a, I don't know, ombre contouring thing. Something kind of fun. There's your non-makeup pro tip for the day of that. So let me take these two mismatched eyeshadows off and come back and do my third and final look using this new like stone collection from Colourpop, which, by the way, I'm really enjoying. This blush might be a little bit too pink for the third and final look, but we'll have to see. So now I'm going to go into the Clay It Cool, which is their warm palette in this collection. I don't know if they're going to do any more or if this is kind of the end of it. I would think that they've covered, you know, the cool, the warm, and the neutral, depending on your undertone. This is definitely a little bit more of your warmer shades. I think I've used just about every shade in here. I am going to take the cream. This is the cream shadow in here, a little bit lighter than the last one. I'm going to take that on both eyelids. So I think it's a really good base layer. And is it Makeup by Mario or is it, yeah, it's got to be Makeup. Is it Makeup by Mario or is it Patrick Ta that did the cream, like the single cream shadow with their gorgeous palettes? One or the other. You guys leave me a comment. tell me what I'm talking about here. So yeah, I really thought the kind of the purpose of this video is to show all three of them together in case you were trying to figure out which one you needed. I gotta fix this lip a little bit here. I'm gonna take the lighter ones again. All right, my husband's gonna come down soon and say, hey, we need to go because he's gonna be hungry. And because of that, I think I'm gonna keep this look relatively simple. I'm gonna take, I don't think I used Biscuit before, but I think I wanna use this one. It's like the deepest copper shade, and I'm just loading up a flat brush, tapping it on my lid. If the other video has gone up by the time I edit this one, my Clay It Cool, I'll link it. If not, I'll try to add it to the description box or a pinned comment down below in case you guys are at all interested in seeing the look I originally did with this Clay It Cool palette, since it's the most recent one. I did film with this first. The other ones came in while I was traveling, and I just didn't get a chance to sit down and film with it. And then, you know, of course, by now they've been out for a while. So I apologize for that, you guys. I do have a job that keeps me on my toes and keeps me very, very busy. And this is not a paying gig for me. This is just what I do for fun and relaxing. And I love reviewing makeup. I love playing with makeup. I love talking to you guys about makeup. I love when you guys talk to me about makeup. I've met some really amazing people since I've had this channel. And if nothing else, I love that we have this space now for ladies of a certain age where we don't have to be makeup artists. We can still play. We can still, you know, try to make ourselves look pretty. Figure out what's going to work for us. Not everybody that watches this channel is a lady of a certain age. I found that I have a number of subscribers that are actually significantly younger. And so I think what I'd like to say to you guys is there are no rules when it comes to makeup. You do what makes you feel good, but don't be scared of it. I'm just taking one of those lighter gold shades right here on the inner corner. I think it is the lightest shimmer in the palette. And I put a little bit of it in the inner corner, but I'm really kind of keeping it to that first, I don't know, I don't want to say a quarter, third, no, not even a third, not even a quarter. Less than a quarter of my eyelid space. And I applied those with a flat brush on top of that cream. I mean, it went on so nice and so saturated and so pigmented. I'm just tickled with that. I think I want to try killing it. I used this one before, but I think this is a really beautiful shade to kind of deepen up and richen out without going to like the darkest shade there, because, you know, that's what I do. A lot of the same technique. I gotta be honest, you know, aside from changing shades, I usually use the same type of technique for every eye look I do, because I just think that that's what flatters my eye shape. Being close set, hooded, mature eyelids. I'm taking whatever's left and just kind of dragging it into the high point of my crease. I'm going to take Body Talk, which is this light kind of apricot color, and that's going to be my transition, although it's a little dark for a true transition. Just putting it right on the edge of that other shadow to give it a little bit kind of a grounding color. And then I want to take a clean fluffy brush and let's just buff this out a little bit. I didn't really think much about blending before not until I decided I really wanted to do a YouTube channel. And then I was like, oh, there's this whole thing like blending and gradiating colors. You don't have to do just the same color and buff it and share it, but you can do that. The idea of doing multiple different colors was kind of that seems like it's a lot of work, but I also find that it's very almost therapeutic when I play with makeup. I'm gonna go in the lightest shade in here, corner, kind of a little bit over the top of that sparkle, but I am going out to dinner and I don't need to look too fancy or too over the top. So that's gonna get me a little bit more of an awake look without being too attention grabbing. Sometimes you don't want to be the center of attention. At least sometimes I don't. Most of the time, actually, now that I think about it, most of the time I don't want to be the center of it. Okay, I don't have any liner on. I think I might as well just go. I'm gonna go into the darkest shade in here and we'll just use that, deepen up that lash line. Just layer all these colors together, right? I'm not saying I used every shade in this palette, and I don't think you need to. I think they do have all three of these palettes are laid out very well, where you've got like a corresponding shimmer and a matte, and you might not even have to do too much of a variation from that. Let me throw some mascara on and we'll wrap up this video. Okay, you guys, I have mascara all over my fingers now, trying to stab it into the little container and get it again. Okay, you guys, so 3 different palettes, really 3 different undertones, right? Clay It Cool is gonna be your warm, definitely if you are warm complected, I think this would really enhance that, really bring it out. Now, I'm a light medium, tend to be even on the neutral side, which means I'm a little bit more flexible. I can really go either way. I can go cool, I can go warm, I can go neutral. This is the cool tone palette. I love the way this one looked on my eyes as well. These 3, the whole thing, it's just very well done. If you err on the side of cool, you want the more cool tones, that enhances your features, fantastic. And then this is a neutral one. Any one of these I think I could wear to work. I could literally grab any one of these and put together a work look, put together something that's going to be just everyday wearable, pretty. It's maybe something a little sparkly that I can go out to dinner in without being like, I got to use every color in the rainbow. And I think there's some joy and simplicity into being that basic bitch. I don't have any complaints with that at all. I don't think you always need to be over the top and extra glam and whatever else. Is this glam? Sure. I didn't put on any eyeliner. It's just, I don't even have any eyebrows on. I just keeping it simple. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. Oh, you know what? I did grab this cream gel liner. Do I need to put this on? I wasn't gonna put, here I am saying I'm not gonna put on anything. This is like a slate gray. I should have used it with that set in stone. No, Twist of Slate. I should have used it with Twist of Slate. I meant to use this earlier. I'm just gonna put a little on here. Why not? Grays and bronzes and brown as opposed to black. Super flattering on ladies of a certain age. You know what? I'm gonna put a little in here too. It could be a horrible idea or it could be brilliant. Sometimes doing eyeliner on your waterline can make your eyes look small. Sometimes it can make super dramatic. I just took that basic look and went a little bit overboard, but I don't mind it. I'm okay with that. My husband's not gonna care. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. Playing and comparing these 3 palettes from Colourpop. I hope you found some benefit to this. If this helps you make a decision on which one you want, if you don't really need all 3 because you do have, you know, other browns, maybe this helps you decide which one you'd like to get. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well, and I hope you guys consider sticking around, and until my next video, bye for now.